Okay, this is Michael from NCY Store. We're going to do a comparison from our original NCY 30mm carb and the OKO 30mm carb. You can see here the length of it, kind of get an idea of visual from the height of it, what's going to be pretty much around there. You can see it still has the same about 28mm opening or 24. I can't remember too much on that one, but this is a 30mm opening when they're talking about 30mm carburetor, the Ventura and everything that should be there. You can see the difference between PWK. It takes a totally different cable setup. Which you can see the CVK cable setup that we took out. That's why we're going to need some 12mm open branch to be able to unbolt this. And you can look at the tip. This is how you can tell between a CVK cable and a PWK cable, or a flat or throttle cable or a Mikuni cable. They're going to be a little bit smaller in this side right here. This is where this is going to be a CVK, where it slides perfectly right here. You can see there. This has a slot for it, just like in your brake lever side. Big as your brake lever, the CVK one. But for the PWK one, it still has the same thing on the other end for your brake lever. I'm so sorry, for your throttle lever. But the thing about this one is, though, on this side of it, this is the angle one. I got the angle one. Sometimes it's straight. Sometimes this is a more like a 45-degree angle or 90-degree angle tilt. So yeah, I'm going to open this up and then show you what's in there. And then we're going to do our cylinder case opening and see what's pretty much like in their top end, see what's that. So let's go ahead and get the basic tools here to open up your PWK carb as well as your CVK carb. Again, you're going to need to open 12mm to get that cable off of your CVK carb on this end right here. You're going to need that to get this guy off right here. That latches onto here. The whole second of them right there, the latches right there. Little two slots right there for adjustment, 1, 2. It could be on one of those slots. Now for the PWK carb, it has the same setup. You're going to have your idle mixture screw right here. And then you're going to have your throttle adjustment screw. And that's actually dealt with inside the cable as well. So you have also here as well. And then this one, I believe it also controls your air and fuel mixture. That's right here. So your throttle tightness right there also. This is it's pretty much your idle screw, your idle mixer screw. So it's almost right there next to each other. And then you have your drain bolt. This is going to take about a 17mm to open up. It's plastic. It's almost like your Prima oil bolt kit that we saw here that we didn't want to damage. So it's almost the same as this guy right here, the Prima. So that one right there, the same bolt to drain it out. You can actually access your main jet very easily just by opening this one and taking it out. So it's very easy to change the main jet. However, the idle jet or the pilot jet, you have to take the whole drain bolt out. You're going to need a vice grip just in case, not to hold any cables or anything, but for my case is just because you cannot sometimes break these Phillips bolts, which we're going to hopefully change them out to some nice Allen bolt heads. You can take a pair of these vice grips, needle nose vice grips, and then clamp it in there and you can be able to twist it off. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to show you how to actually insert the cable first. I already did it now, but I'm going to take it back off so you can see the assembly, what it's like on that one. And then we're going to also take out the CVK one, check out the jets as well on that one. So here we go. Let me get the camera set up properly. Also, you're going to need your jet kit. So pretty much what you need is you're going to need your 17mm to open the bottom of this bolt here, the drain bolt area, or float bolt. And then you're going to need the main jet. I believe for the PWK one, it takes a 6mm or 1/4. Just remember 1/4, and full throttle is pretty much used for main jet, so that's a good way to remember it. And also main jet being the main one, you always have a higher number than a slow jet. So slow jet will be typical numbers like 38, 40, 42, and then your main jet will be like in the high 3-digit numbers like 100, all the way up to 140. Sorry, it's written upside down because it's facing this way. You can see it right. It actually opens it up. You can see there. So we're going to put a 125 on here. I believe it has a 138 now. I think I just checked it. And I don't know what the slow jet is because I have not opened the float bolt yet. But the Mikuni one won't not take the same. Just be careful. The Mikuni would not take the same main jet, as you would think the OKO, which is also a copy of Canon. So it does not take the same. And the higher the number are, the bigger the openings are. These are like copper, so you know they're precision to open a certain amount of diameter hole, which I'll show you. What this comes with the OKO one, it comes with the carburetor. It doesn't come with the cable. This is the Tata PWK cable that we're installing as well. It doesn't come with any accessory jets, but it does come with 2 of the steel clamps, a couple of the hoses, short one and a big one. These look like 3/16 diameter, very small, perfect. Yeah, about 3/16. And then we have a little rubber coupler. So that's all comes with the casing of the OKO one and with the angle side. So this is the one with the angle side, made in Taiwan. Oh, there it goes. And these are all what's pretty much inside of it internally, you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off so you can see how to actually install the cable. And then what we'll do is I'll go ahead and show you. So this takes a Phillip, so you're going to need a Phillip as well. You're going to need a long flathead to do some adjustment. So these are pretty much the basic tools you'll need. Is a 10mm socket to open the housing of the main jet if you need to break it off, because sometimes it gets stuck in this housing, the main jet. And then you need a 6mm to take out the actual main jet itself. So 6mm or 1/4 if you're going standard. Matrix is 6mm. You're going to need your socket driver. And then you're going to need 17mm, which then you'll need a bigger socket driver, which just know that you need a socket driver to drive these nuts. Okay, so now we're going to take our Phillips, and we're going to go and open this up, and we're going to be able to see what's internally inside of it. You might want to hold it down. There's a spring that fluctuates there. It might be held down already by the cable, but we'll see. Okay, 2 Phillips there. You can see there's a flat side and then there's a round side. So this is what they call a flat side PWK carburetor, because it has that flat side. And then some are perfectly round, just like, well, not perfectly round, but they're more oval round. Okay, this is coming out. Also, this has a washer, so when we do actually, I mean a lock nut. So when we do put ours in, we'll make sure we get a little lock nut as well for our Allen bolts. That way, keep the vibration from jiggling these things loose. Okay, and also has a gasket. And this is actually the whole thing, because the cable's already putting some tension on there. It's so much easier to do when you don't have tension on the other end, so if it's not hooked up to the throttle sleeve, you have a little bit more slack to actually help you. But if you don't, then it's going to be a little bit harder. But this is what it looks like when it's properly assembled in there. You can't see it, but there's going to be the difference here. You can tell by the ends of it. The cable thickness and everything are pretty much almost identical to CVK, except for the end that hooks onto the throttle. I mean, to the carburetor actuator here. So we're going to go ahead and let's see here how I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go ahead and compact the spring like this, pull it inward. It's like a snake skeleton here. Okay. Okay, there we go. You can pretty much poke this out. There we go. See there? That's the tip right there. That's the tip that we're trying to see how small it is compare. Let me go and take it over there. That way you can see it in comparison. But before I do that, let me just take all these little particles off. And you can see the inside of it there. The needle nose comes with it. You can see where the needle will resonate right here. And it'll go like this. And now be careful with this little plastic part here. You can see that one side of it, it's kind of dipped in a little bit. The reason why is it has to make sure it fits the spring. So you don't want to put it on the opposite side like this. It won't go in. It won't sit properly. See? It just kind of slides and yanks and goes like that. So you want to make sure it sits. Not only that though, but you want to face, there's a little slant part that actually holds that line from moving away from that little dip part. So even though it will fit either direction almost, you can see here I can force it to fit this way. It's going to be a tighter fit. You know, it feels a little snug. It won't go all the way down. Now I can take this back, this pin, and help push it out. But you want to actually make sure that that little up arrow faces upward like this. See how it slides in easily? That way, that little indent right there on the very top helps hold that cable to stay on the very top, because you want it's like latched in there. You can see there's a little indent. So when this cable here, I'm not going to put the spring just for demo. So when this cable here goes in, it's going to sit like right there. See how it nesses in there and it hooks. Now what prevents it from actually just popping out like I was able to pop it out was that little white piece is not putting pressure onto that groove area, so I can pop it out like this and slide it out that way. See, sort of like maybe a tilt up and then pulled out. So when that groove is in there, you're going to show you the whole mechanism, how it works again. It's a little bit tricky to do, but once you get the hang of it, again, you want to get much slack as you want. Okay, so you can go and preset this right here. Okay, and then you want to compact it. Okay, it's kind of nice to have a little bit more play room. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this. See, it's pulling from the other end right here. It's pulling from this end right here where it goes to the throttle sleeve. So there we go. We got quite a bit here. Okay, you want to wind this up, kind of hold it down. And then you want to go ahead and prepare this. Make sure this little indent part faces the spring, because the spring needs to sit in there. And then you want to go ahead and get into the latch there. You can do it now or later. It doesn't really matter, but just make sure it rests that way. Okay. Actually, you can go ahead and use the white part here to help hold the spring even more. And then you just give a good pinch, okay? Now you want to get your needle back in there. And this needle right here, if you look at it, there's different notches. So the higher it goes, it's going to be more leaner. And the more in it goes, it's going to close up more. I'm so sorry. The higher it goes, it's going to be more richer, actually. I'm sorry. I'm mixing myself up here. The lower it goes, the more of an opening it does, give a gap into it. So it's going to be, the more richer it's going to be. The higher it goes, the more of it kind of closed up. So it's the more leaner it is. Just remember, leaning is not much fuel going in, and richer is more fuel going in. So the more you go lower, the more this pin actually lifts off from the main jet, which is in here. See the main jet? That's the housing of the main jet. You probably can't see the main jet, but it's mounted on the other end of it, which I'm going to show you. So what you can do is you're going to pinch this. Okay, you're going to put your needle back in here. Now the needle also, with the clip here, it perfectly resonates in that area here. Let me see if I can get focus. Okay, you can see that little right there. See that little groove there? That's perfectly for that C-clip here that actually will slide right in and it just lands right on there. Okay, now you can see here from this side. So I'm going to go ahead and position my pin in here. Okay, and then what you can do, if you have good fingernails or something like that, you can hold and pinch it in here a little bit to help you. But just make sure where this white part is supposed to go. See right there? That needs to slide. Once you get that white part in there, let me say the word, you're golden. You can release this and it interlocks. It's not going anywhere. See, there we go. You can now play with the pin. Oh, well, you poke this out, you're forcing the pin to actually flex the white part. But you could have, when you put it in there, you can play with the pin. And you can shoot it out like that too. So let me go and get that back in there. Okay, we'll do this again. We'll get this in here like this. Okay. And you can go ahead and make sure you get enough slack, so you want to pull it all the way out from the throttle sleeve side of it. You know, feed that guy in there like this. This should, you know, sit all the way flush to the top cap. Okay, and then you can go ahead and make sure you put this. You can get ready for your finger to position this the way you want it to. And then also you have to make sure you close the cap. Okay, so there we go. We got this guy in again. I'm going to feed it through. See here the pin, it kind of portrays, it fits right in that little slot of it. See that little notch there in the very top? That's what we're aiming for. We're going to loop it up. Don't let the pin drop out on you. A lot of loose components you have to worry about for right now. Okay, hold this pinched again. You know, fingernail or whatever you need to do. Just try to get that pinched in there. And get ready to align this. Just remember the flat side actually goes with the round bevel side. I know it's kind of reversed on the white part, but there you go. It slips right in. And when it fills, you feel it slip right in. Okay, don't play with the pin yet. I meant to say that if once you put it in there, you can play with the pin. Now you want to go ahead and make sure you position the flat side here, and there's a round bevel side. So the flat side goes in like that. Okay, and then be careful with your gasket, all that flexing back and forth. And then you can go ahead and once you get securely, you can tug on your cable and make sure it's loose. And there's a little groove notch here that it goes right in there perfectly. And we're going to put some Allen bolts here. We're going to see which size will fit it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Look at that. I got it in the wrong direction. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you get the round side facing the round side. So you can still twist it like this, you know. The spring's not going to do anything to you. So you can twist it round side. You can see here, there's the flat side. I didn't really pay attention. I apologize. So see the flat side right there? Goes to the flat side, the back part right here. There we go. Now it's sealed. You can put some pressure here, hold it down. And then you can go ahead and let's just put a Phillips for right now. And then we're going to try to find one of the Allen bolts that will fit it. There we go, nice and secure. There you go. And then we're going to put the other side too. But let's go ahead and try to see if we can get an Allen bolt that will fit this size. So let me go ahead and look in my dress drawer here. I'll probably have to use a regular silver color one for the washer, because I don't think I have washers in black. I don't have lock washers in black. So let's see what we can find out here. This thing might work. There we go. It's a little bit longer, but I think with the washer it'll level it up. So I think this might be a good size for it. Yeah, this one's I believe is I can get a shorter one, but that's way too short. Yeah, see, that's much shorter. I'm not sure how far it goes, but I think this will be a much better size. So this one's actually a M5 12mm, M5 by 12mm length. So we'll use that. Do I have only one of them? I thought we had more than that, because this one looks way fatter. This one actually might be in the wrong box. Apologize for that. I only see one of them actually. So need several more in order to make it worth it. So this one's too short. This one's pretty good length. I just need some more of it. So let me see if I can find a few more. I thought I had more of the cheese bin here. Let me look at the other bin real quick. Okay, I couldn't find any on the other bins, the same cheese head, but that's fine. We can even do away with the round ones here. We can get the same length. So let's see if we can get the round one. I think this looks more closer to it. Let's compare. Let's compare with the original. I'm not sure we can take the lock washer off of this guy. Yeah, these things are made. The washers are made in it. There we go. And it's flatter too, which is kind of nice. Okay, this one's a little bit too longer than we need it for. Let's go with the next shorter one. I think this might be perfect. There we go. There we go. And we can get like what, 2 of these, maybe more. We'll see how many more we need, but we'll get 2 for now. And let's go and get the washers for them. So this one's actually, I wish I'd seen the sizes here, but they're closing the other one. These things stick, don't they? Okay, so this one here is a size M. I guess it's M4 by 20 length, I believe. So probably it's either, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, jumping it here. M4 by 16 is that one right here, jumping the 3 slots. 1, 2, 3. I got it from this one right here. So I got 2 of them here, and so let's set those aside and let's go and get some washers for them, because we cannot take it out of the other one, unfortunately. And I think I have plenty of washers coming from the other screw sets. Gotta find it. Okay, put this away. Okay. Where are you, washer? Alright, we found our washers. Gotta go grab them from everywhere. Okay, so we're gonna need some really small ones to actually make this one work. So on the small side is all the way over here. I believe these might be too small, but let's see if they'll fit. Because we need washers because the machine will vibrate. Yeah, this is too small. It won't even fit in our thread here. So that won't work. So let's go and get one size up. I think these other size up will be this size. And those size are, I guess they're called number 8 washers. Lock washers. Okay, so we got these 2 here. Put them in. Yep, they fit just right. Put the other one ready to go. And this will keep the vibration. So we're going to go and put this one back. Yep, make sure the thread's actually going in smoothly, and it is. There we go. That way, look at that. I still have a little bit extra slack here still for it to, little extra thread, which is fine. Looks so much nicer, huh? We're rebuilding our. Okay, so let me go and get the thing to drive this in. But before I even do that, I want to show you the comparison of the cables again, because I don't want you to not see the difference between the cable. Again, this end right here is practically the same right here, where it goes into your handlebar and into your throttle. It's right there. See that? It's practically the same as what's on there now, which is our for our CVK one. We use, but the other end that determines it, again, you can see how much more bigger this one is in comparison. See how fat it is, like a bigger drum. And it's almost the same size of the drum hole onto the CVK right here where it fits in. See that was right here? It's almost the same size as on the throttle sleeve. So you can see here, it's right in there. Okay, get more slack here to show you, but it's kind of retracted all the way in there now. But that would be the drum one. So what we're trying to try to do is, I'm gonna open this one up again so you can really see how, well, you actually probably saw how small it is already, right? So you can always rewind back and see how small that little pinhole is comparison. But I actually want to put them side by side so you can actually see them in comparison. So, oh, those lock thread works well. I didn't even tighten it with my tools yet. It's already locked in. So let me go and get a little small driver to drive it back out. This might be too big. On both sides. Get smaller. There we go. I got several sizes on there. Once you find out there's several sizes, it all should fit in there. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring this cable side by side so that way you can see it. It's going to break this again. And probably don't want to install our cable yet because we're going to turn everything around here and there. We're going to change our jet first and then we'll install our cable. How about that? Alright, there we go. Whole thing should come out with. You remember how to knock it loose? Just pretty much play with your pin. That's what we did the first time, right? And it came loose. There we go. It's sharp. Oh, there we go. Don't want to put too much yanking on this one. This thing is plastic. Eventually it's going to wear out. But I just want to show you this comparison so we can actually see it side by side. So let's go and take this over. And you can see the end of this guy with this one. So you can see how small it is. Look at that. It's like a little fishing bead. See that? I'm touching them together now so you can really see. I'm going to put this one on top. See, it's very, very, very small. What's going on with my resolution today? Yeah, see that? Super small, right? Yeah, they're rubbing at each other now. See that? It almost swallows it. So that's how you can tell if it's for a PWK or a CVK by the tip of where the extension is from the carburetor. How it hooks up very differently. So let's go and open this up and try to get into our idle jet and get that changed over. We got some of our jet kits here ready to go. And then we're going to replace everything that we removed with Allen bolts. Hopefully we have all the sizes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and keep all these bolts nicely hanging around here because we need to go grab them back. Now, are we not doing the cheese head, right? We're not. So these ones should have been put back already. Okay, we're replacing these two already. That one's done. I'm going to put the cheese head back here. That way I don't, this is actually, the cheese head goes back to the assortment of them. I don't know why, but they're only this one long one. The rest are just like the short ones, like these ones. So, interesting. This one's like this was probably the only long one I really had, and it's actually that size. So I'm probably not even as long as the other one. That's the most thread size. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set our assembly here. Now we can see our pin. We can adjust our pin. We're going to leave it at default for right now, And then we're going to take this off. I'm going to show you. I have it pretty loose in the array, but it takes a 17 millimeter. And you can see here I'm twirling it out. You see right away you can actually see the main jet. See there? Now this bigger housing that the main jet sits on, it's this long. I'm going to pull it out right now with a 10 millimeter. So I'm going to take a 10 millimeter socket. It's going to take the whole housing out. Okay, I'm going to take something to drive it with. Let me go get the camera at this angle. The lighting will do as much more justice here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a 10 millimeter. I'm just going to take that whole copper, the main one, not the center one here, but the main one. And there is our slow and pilot jet right there, our idle jet right there. That goes from 1 to a quarter throttle, and then that stops, and then our main jet here takes it from a quarter throttle and upward, 1/4 throttle and upward. Okay, so I'm going to go and open this up. It's already loosened now. See how long this one is. Again, this is not the whole main jet. This is not the main jet that you're changing out. This is just the housing of it, what the main jet sits on. The main jet is actually smaller than the pilot jet as far as lengthwise, but not diameter, of course. See that? That's actually the whole housing of the main jet right there. And that's where your needle from the other side comes in and meet with it like this way. So when you clean it, make sure you hold in the light so you can see here. You want to take it, hold it to the light, make sure you can see right through it. See that? That means it's a clean main jet. So the bigger the number, bigger that little hole, that pinhole there that you can see through. So the bigger the number, the bigger that pinhole. And this pinhole is pretty standard. This is going to be the same. The only thing this will change is pretty much how far it goes into the main jet and how far it rises up. So by going again, I'm going to make sure I refrain myself here. When you go further down, it's going to cause the pin to sit up more, right? So when it sits up more, this is going to be open more from the main jet. Sorry, it's going to be opened up more from the main jet. So that means it's going to be richer, meaning more fluid's going to get into it. But when you actually lower the pin, higher the pin, you're going to lower the needle. When you hold the needle, it closes more of the main jet and the pin together. And what that will cause is a little bit more leaner running carburetor. Okay, so now we got the main jet assembly off. Now let's go ahead and now we can go and take our drain bolt here. So we're going to go ahead and take that off. See here. Break this off. Let's see if I can get this one off first. Yeah, sometimes if you have a hard time getting off, you're going to have to use that needle nose vice grip. This is brand new, and sometimes they make them that way so you don't mess around with them too much. But if you're going to be needing for tuning it, you need to actually get access to it because you need it for changing out your idle jet. That goes from 0 to a quarter throttle turn. That's going to be... If you're hearing your engine put, put, put at the quarter throttle turn, that has to do with your slow jet or idle jet or pilot jet, whatever they call it. And then if you're having issues going from a quarter turn throttle all the way full throttle and it's dying prematurely, that has to do with your main jet. So now we're going to see here. So this one here, I'm going to try to see if I can actually get it off again with the Phillips. And I'm going to put some pressure here. I'm going to hold and reinforce it. Twist, nope, see that? It's stripping it. It just won't let go. I mean, it just won't grip. So what you'll do is you'll adjust this here. Now you will strip this thread, but we're going to replace it with Allen bolts anyway, so it doesn't matter for us. Just want to go ahead and gap it enough. You're going to give it a good squeeze, level in a way where you can actually twist it back. So you're going to do it this way. Okay, then that's why you need this one right here. There it goes. See, it locks it in. There we go, there you go. Easy. You can turn it now. That's it. You don't want to do it all the way. That's all you need for it. Now it's going to make marks here on your bolts. I recommend changing this out anyway because if it's stripped like this, it's going to give you trouble later on. And then you can go ahead and just use your Phillips or whatever teeth you have left, but just don't use this bolt again. Bury it, throw it away, recycle it. Don't even give it to your worst enemy, because it will create more problems. There we go, that one's out. So there we go, they're the same length. So we're going to go ahead and try to replace these as well. I think these are going to be the same as those, so if I'm not mistaken, if you look at them. This was the one we replaced earlier for the other one. So if I line these up, these guys right here with the Allen are going to be the same. So if that's the case, we're going to get 2 more of those. How about that? Easy. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 more of those and 2 more of the same washers to pair them up with. There we go. So there's 2 washers there. And then we're going to get 2 more of these guys, which we have plenty of, thank goodness. Sometimes we get lucky and we get a certain amount of bolts, and they're made for application. Now, was it? No, it wasn't these cheese heads. Sorry, I put the right one back in the bin here. So let me get that guy back out. No, not these ones either. No, there it is. It's just sitting right here waiting for me to open it. It's me. It's me. All right, so I got you. There we go. It's in the middle section. I remembered, and my memory's not always the best. Okay, so now we got those guys too ready to put back on. But before we put them back on, we can make sure we put our lock washers here. Come on, I know they fit because they fit the other two. You can't be a mixed match like that. Okay, put the lock washers on here as well. Okay, now see we got it open. So you want to open carefully. You're gonna have your float bowl and everything in there. See, there's a guiding pin here. Probably more than a guiding pin. All right, see, it feels still like some tension there. Okay, you want to make sure you hold it flat. There we go. There it is. Look at that long little nozzle there. It's going there. These are the ones that you have to spray in, make sure you get them thoroughly clean. And there's your slow jet or idle jet right there. And it says OKO also like that. Now this is brand new. You know, we don't have to worry about taking this off or cleaning it yet. But you definitely want to inspect it to make sure. So we're going to go and take this off, and this is where you can use your flathead. So we're going to come back here with flathead. And right now, oh, let's check it out. I forgot to take out the main jet first. So let's jump in here. See, we can't take it out yet until well, I pre-loosen it, but you could. You'll put this back into its, we'll take out the needle. You'll put this back in here, in your 10mm, and you're gonna have to drive it off with your 6mm. So we're gonna go and get the 6mm. You put the 6mm in here like this, and then you might have to hold one to another here. Shouldn't be that complicated, really. Or you could take like even a 10mm open wrench if you know you don't want to be that sophisticated.